Google just killed the Pixel 8. Yes, they killed it. And how did they do that? Well, because they said yesterday that due to hardware limitations, the Pixel 8 is not going to get the Gemini Nano on-device AI model. So what does that mean? Well, basically that means that this phone is dead. And I say that because this phone has been out basically for less than 5 months. It came out in October. We're in March now, right about the 5 month mark. And Gemini Nano is the first AI model that Google has put out that's supposed to be on device. It's supposed to help out. Really, at this point in time, is not doing a whole lot. It's giving you summarization in the recording app. It's giving you smart replies with Gboard that's supposed to get expanded stuff for like WhatsApp and other things later on. But the Pixel 8 Pro, it has Gemini Nano AI. The S24 has it, like the S24, the Plus, and the Ultra. And I'm sitting here wondering, what hardware limitation is there? Because when you take a look at the Pixel 8 Pro, it has the Google Tensor G3. When you take a look at the Pixel 8, it has the Google Tensor G3. So I was thinking maybe it's because of the RAM. And that would be a logical thing to look at because the Pixel 8 Pro has 12 gigabytes of RAM and the Pixel 8 has 8 gigabytes of RAM. So a lot of people speculated that might be it. But here's an interesting thing. If you take a look at the S24, the base model, it only has 8 gigabytes of RAM. So then you're thinking, okay, is it because the S24 has UFS 4 instead of UFS 3.1? Well, not exactly, because the regular S24, the baseline model, has UFS 3.1, which is the same storage that's in these phones. And I thought that Google was doing some serious cost cutting when they did that in the first place, because UFS 4 has been the flagship standard for like 2 years now. So yes, there is cost cutting that goes on with these phones. They use Samsung to make their own custom chips. So you get the Tensor, and they use a lot of Samsung parts that are already made. They use Samsung displays. They use a lot of Samsung stuff. And I've made a video last year saying like the Pixel 7 was the best Samsung phone you could get because it was so cheap and the phone was over 51% Samsung parts. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, the Pixel 8 is not getting the Gemini Nano AI. And this is big because Google touted these phones as being the smartest smartphones. The first phones with AI is what they called them. So how are you going to have the first phones with AI, the smartest smartphone, if the Pixel 8, not even barely 5 months into its lifespan, is not even getting the first AI model that Google's pushing out to their phones? They pushed it out to Pixel 8 Pro. So I want to know what this hardware limitation is. Is there something that they dialed down? Is there something they did cheaper? Is there something that they didn't do that they didn't tell us about in the Pixel 8 that's keeping us from being able to do this? Because when you look on paper, they both have the Tensor G3. So that right there is the workhorse. That's the backbone of the phone. That's what handles all the AI calculations. And it works with the GPU, and it also works with other things like the RAM that's in the phone. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some more investigation. Maybe I think I remember they might have a slightly different GPU in the Pixel 8 than the Pixel 8 Pro, but don't quote me on that. But I'm sitting here looking at this going, okay, your first on-device AI model. And it's not even doing that much yet. Like I said, you can get summarization in the recording app. You can get the smart reply enhancements on the phone with Gboard. And I think maybe it might be helping out with some of the like high-end video and photo processing stuff. But really, there's not a whole lot that it's doing. So how is it that this phone is supposed to be supported for 7 years, and it's supposed to be the smartest smartphone? It has the groundbreaking Google Tensor G3, the same chip as the 8 Pro, and you don't get this very simple Gemini Nano AI model. So taking a look at it, I just don't buy it. I mean, is this a software limitation? Is it a hardware limitation that they're just not telling us that they cheapskated us on and not like just tried to pretend like it was a very similar phone? I mean, there are reasons that these phones are different. And you look at the Pixel 8 Pro, it's got the bigger screen, it's got a bigger battery, it's got 3 cameras, it's got like different stuff. So there's a Pro phone, there's the regular phone, but underneath that all, they're running the same chip. So you would think that in most areas you would get the same level of performance, you would have the same level of support. And then we've seen stuff that's come out that's only been supported on the 8 Pro, and I complained about this months ago. Whenever we start getting some of the different AI features for the 8 Pro that didn't trickle down to the 8. So I don't know. It doesn't seem like this is a software gatekeep. It just seems like, seriously, maybe there's something they're not telling us, but if this phone's supposed to be supported for 7 years, and it's supposed to be the smartest smartphones that are out there, and you're not even getting the first AI model that they're pushing out to their phones, but they're giving it to the S24, like, what does that tell you? Like, what does that tell you as a model looking forward to what you can expect with this phone? Because there's going to be more AI stuff that comes out. There's going to be additional AI models that come out later on down the road. And we're sitting here with the first one, the groundbreaking Gemini Nano AI model that's on the phone. Because this whole Project Gemini thing, there's 3 different levels. There's Gemini Pro, there's Gemini, and there's Gemini Nano. And Gemini Nano is their AI model specifically designed to handle a lot of these tasks that are on the smartphone. So if that's the case, then why buy this phone? I just go buy an S24. I mean, the S24 gets it. The S24 is probably going to get even more updates, even longer. And that's probably has more to do with Samsung leveraging their position, honestly, making half of the Google phones anyway. But yeah, it's built on Android. So when you take a look at the S24 and you take a look at the Pixel 8, the S24 basically gets everything. And then you have the Pixel 8, which I know a lot of people like. They like having a smaller phone. They like having a more compact profile. They like not paying as much money. And there are hardware things that you can expect to be different. Like I said, don't get the extra camera capabilities, don't get the bigger battery, don't get the larger screen, higher refresh rate, higher resolution, all that stuff. So it's interesting to me that we have this decision and we don't have a more elaborate explanation of what this hardware limitation is. But if you have hardware limitations that keep it from giving you the very first AI model they come out with, what's that going to mean when we get the Pixel 9? And the Pixel 9 starts getting stuff, and then the Pixel 8 gets even less stuff. There's a difference between being supported for 7 years and just being able to use a phone in 7 years. I mean, what does that tell you they're going to do with the Pixel 8 Pro next year? Or this year even. The Pixel 9 Pro is going to come out later on this year. Are they going to have hardware limitations on this? How many hardware limitations are we going to have on a phone that's supposed to be good for 7 years? Like, it's not a matter of just being able to run your Twitter app and your Instagram app and text message people in 7 years. How meaningful is that experience? And that was a question that I had because Google doesn't have a good history of supporting and updating their products. I mean, look at the Pixel Fold, $1,800 phone. It doesn't even have circle to search. They brought it to the Pixel 7 and the 7 Pro with this update, and they didn't give it to us on the Pixel Fold, $1,800 phone. And it just makes some of these phones and these decisions look like cash grabs. It's like they're living from one device to the other, as opposed to looking at the long game and looking down the road and saying, okay, we're going to support this for 7 years, but what's that going to mean for you? Like, what features are you not going to have? You can look at the roadmap for this recent feature drop, and it basically only extends, in most cases, the Pixel 8 and the Pixel 7. Pixel Fold hasn't even gotten most of them. And then you look at other phones like the Pixel 6, it's only a couple years old. It's not getting a lot of updates. So what is this going to look like? And why would you want to buy this? Like, if they're not giving you the first main update when it comes to making these phones smarter and more relevant and being the smartest smartphones, what's the point? So that's why I say this phone's dead. Like, rest in peace, Pixel 8. I don't recommend buying this phone. If you want to spend your money, go out and buy S24, go buy a Motorola Think phone, go buy a OnePlus 12, a OnePlus 11. Like, there's a lot of other phones you can buy that you don't have to worry about this. But I mean, the Pixel 8 Pro, it's great that you get all this stuff, but then you think about it, when the 9 Pro comes out, what kind of limitations is the 8 Pro going to have? And what is the device roadmap going to look like for this 7 years down the road? Like, how relevant is it going to be? If we're already having issues and they have the same hardware, like, I could understand if the Pixel 8 Pro had the Tensor G3, and then the Pixel 8 had the Tensor G8 Lite or something like that, or the Tensor G3 Lite. Like, if we have the Tensor G3 and the G3 Alpha or something like that, or if it's the Pixel 7a or the 8a whenever it comes out, it's understandable that you have limitations on a $300 or $400 version of the phone where they cut a lot of corners, but Google already cuts a lot of corners. And there's already a lot of stuff that, like, we want them to move to the Snapdragon. We want them to quit using Samsung. Like, it's a good chip, but it could be a better chip. Like, really, it could be. So it's just frustrating to look at this and go, okay, this phone's not even half a year old and it's basically already outdated by Google. Like, Google makes these phones, Google makes Android, Google makes the AI model, and on their latest phones, like, the Pixel 8's not even getting it. So but the competition is. Like, you can get it on the S24. So I don't know. It really rubs me the wrong way. And it, like, just like last year with the cash grab with the Pixel Fold, I said it from the get-go that they should not be charging $1,800 for a phone and giving you a year-old chip that they put in the Pixel 7a. What kind of company? How could you look at this? Imagine if you had the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 and it comes with the Snapdragon 8 Generation 3 and you charge $1,800 for it. And then you put the same phone in the A50, like the same chip in the A54. Like, it really waters down the experience. And of course, it's a year old chip and they're already not even updating it and supporting it very well. So, rest in peace, Pixel 8. I think this is a really dumb move. I think that it says a lot of really bad things about the company and about their phone. And it really makes you wonder what these phones are going to look like moving forward. So anyway, that's all I got. That's what I want to make this video on. If you have any questions or comments, of course, please go to the comment section. Complaints, I'm sure we'll have a lot of that. Let's go talk about it. If you enjoyed the video, if you like this stuff, you like the Pixel content, you come to the right place. Hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.